something a little bit different today where we're going to look at more of like the actual finish of the inside and the outside heel, and then the next couple of weeks we're going to look at some transitions from going from one leg attack to the next and upper body back down and not just focusing on hitting one thing, and if we miss that, then we've missed it. We're trying to chain things together just like we do armbar triangle omoplata up and down the ladder. We want to do the same thing with the So we're going to look just today from the single leg X, but all of this technique is going to apply to any position. So whether I'm in single leg X and attacking the heel, or I'm in like an outside ashi, if we're attacking the heel, it's the same principles. When we're attacking the heel, sometimes we make a mistake where we don't have like the perfect hand positioning. Like right now, I'm sort of behind the heel, and Jay's toes are in my armpit, but I don't really have like solid control from here. And it's hard to finish if I don't have like at least the basic grip under control. So when I'm setting up my heel hook, I really want his heel deep in the crook of my elbow. I don't want it to be finishing like at my wrist. Like this is not good control. Like I could finish from here, but I might as well get nice deep control. When I'm establishing my grip, a lot of times this guy's gonna keep his heel on the mat, right? And what we can do is we can swim all the way back, come around his toes, come in, and start connecting my hands. But it's not like super efficient to do it that way. I really only think of this as like a last ditch effort if I can't get this guy's heel off the mat. But in most cases, when I want to threaten the heel, if I put my elbow next to his heel and I use my free hand, I can just lift it up and pop it right into my elbow, right in the crook of my elbow. So it's here, I pin, I want to pop straight up and put it in the crook. It's already deep. I don't have to swim all the way back through, waste that time. And more time that I'm swimming is more time for him to start working his escape. With the outside heel, I need a straight line, right? If I'm out of line, if his heel is out of line with his knee and his hip, it creates more play in his knee and it's more difficult to finish. And the way he wants to defend is by rotating and stacking and taking his knee out of this straight line, right? So when we're finishing, it's important to keep everything pinched nice and tight so I can maintain this straight line. I want to get a nice deep bite, connect my hands, everything's pinched tight, and I'm focused more on tracing his toes up towards his butt. I'm pulling my hands in tight to my chest, almost like I finish a guillotine, I pull them tight. I'm trying to think about painting an imaginary line towards his butt with his toes, and I'm bringing my hips up, just like I'm finishing an arm bar. So all at once, I'm pulling in, I'm rotating, hips are coming up. Now I said we don't want to rotate all the way over, right? We don't want to start turning all the way over. But if we get here, if it's tight, I'm working for my finish. If I'm not quite getting it, now I do a little rotation just to add some extra force. So with the inside heel, we talked about the straight line on the outside. The inside is the opposite. I want the heel out of line with his knee and his hip. And the more out of line it is, the more pressure I'm attacking with. Because when I'm attacking the inside heel, I'm attacking the inside part of the knee joint. A lot of the ways that I'm gonna finish, it's gonna be the same as when I was doing the outside, right? I want a deep grip, I want good hand position, in a position that if he tries to fight it, I have a better, stronger control. I'm pulling in tight, and the same thing. I'm thinking about taking his toes and pointing them up towards his butt. When I'm here, I'm not leaning back all the way hard to roll, because again, it's just encouraging him to roll and start escaping. Controlling nice and tight, controlling my grip, pulling my hands into my chest. I'm gonna start pinning the mat. My hips are gonna come into his knee, and then I'm still having a hard time with the finish. I put a little bit of a lean away, but not a hard twist. I can also pop the grip in the exact same way. So if Al's foot is firm in the mat, he's got his heel on the ground, right? I can be here, pin the elbow to his heel to lock this position in, and I can swim all the way back, recruit the toes, come underneath, set up my grip from here, right? Or I can use my elbow to block his heel from going anywhere. My free hand is going to come underneath and just lift, and look, pops right into my elbow. Set up my grip, whichever way, I have my preference with whichever way you prefer. Bring it in, I'm focused on the knee line.
not letting his leg be in a straight line from here, tight to my chest, painting the floor with his toes towards his butt, hips go into the knee, a little bit of lean if I need it. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Let's work it.